Hi there, good afternoon. Welcome to Entrepreneurial Live Interviews with Connie Fuchsa. And I do this interview series every week, interviewing some amazing individuals, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that saw a need in our community and decided to take action. It's not an easy choice to make. A lot of people are very overwhelmed when they see an opportunity and not sure how they're going to get it to go from one end, from the idea to putting it into action. But I've been so blessed to be able to interview some of the people that are in fact taking action with the thoughts and the opportunity that they've seen. And today I want to introduce you to a lady that just has an incredible story of resilience and energy and amazing things that she's been doing. And I really wanted to share her with you today. Carmen, it's been my pleasure to meet you. And I'm so excited you're with us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
100%. Well, why don't you start off by telling us all about you? Tell us who you are, how you got to where you are, and what you're doing right now, because I really can't wait to tell your story.
Wow, it's a lot. It's a lot. So everybody be ready, okay? So I am a retired Marine. I served 25 years for our country. And, as I was going through the Marine Corps, I was, very successful going up the rank. And I realized, this journey is going to end one day. What am I going to do? What's my purpose? What's truly my purpose? Because that's the end state. And once you identify your purpose, then guess what? You'll be happy with whatever you do, So if your purpose to do it, then you'll be happy with it. So I started getting towards the end of my tour. I had already did 3 combat tours. I've served in just about every location I can actually serve in. I rose up to the second highest rank, which is an E8. The highest is an E9. And I said, okay, I've accomplished that. I was able to accomplish and receive my master's degree while I was in the military as well. Also a single parent. And I was a single parent the whole time, even throughout my deployed times. And so, I looked at everything that I had accomplished. And of course, with an entrepreneurial mindset, you just want more. You have to continue to go. And I said, okay, I need to figure out what it is that I'm really purposed to do. And while I was in the military, because of, what it is that we do, I'm always motivating. I'm always coaching. I'm always finding ways to strengthen people, to help them get to the next level. And a couple of my Marines actually told me during some of the speeches that I provided for the Marine Corps was that, you really should be a motivational speaker, you should do that. And so I went ahead and I said, okay, well, let me go ahead and do motivational speaking. That is one of the platforms that I have under Invincible You coaching. So I do motivational speaking, but I'm also a life coach / invincibility coach. I've actually coined that term. So I am an invincibility coach. And what that is basically helping people learn how to tap into their strength and tap into their perseverance and tap into their confidence so that they can use that energy to acquire anything that they want in life. So once I retired from the military, I decided to do the coaching. And I'm also in the process of completing my doctorate's degree in business. Yeah. So I'm also in the process of completing my doctorate's degree. I was also able to write my first book, which is actually behind me, The Warrior Stance. And The Warrior Stance is really about strength, confidence, and resilience, and about you identifying your stance, because everybody has a stance. Some people have weak stances. Some people have strong stances. Some people have sturdy stances. So what I've identified in the book is actually 13 principles that will help you create your own stance. And it speaks about wisdom, making sure you're utilizing the wisdom that you have, making sure you're utilizing the network that you have, identify the network that you need to have to be where you want to be, because our networks change as we move up our journey, stairway, I'll say. Your network has to change. It speaks about setting goals. It speaks about how to be resilient. And all of this is about, it's within the work life as well as the family life. So you can create that work-life balance, which I think we all need at this time. But most importantly, learning how to be resilient during these times is what's critical. And that's part of what I teach people how to do as an invincibility coach, is to teach people how to be resilient in these times in whatever field that you're in. And, being able to take that next step, moving up to the next level without allowing the no's to hinder you, but understanding that there's going to be one yes within all of that. But the no's is what's creating resilience for you. So don't be afraid of the no's. You have to keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. And that one yes is going to come, and it's going to change your whole trajectory on life.
Wow. So many pieces here. So much information. I've been writing all of these notes because you have so many great nuggets there. I wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything. But let's go back to you a little bit. So you are a single mom in the military, and that alone is such a process. And it doesn't matter guy or girl going through this, but being a single parent is hard enough. I mean, thank God I never had to experience that, but in my world, my mom was for a long time. And so I know what some of those processes and how difficult, because as a parent myself, not having someone to bounce things off of is very hard, and not having balance, of course, I'm sure you just, that's such a challenge. But then to be in the military and to be a Marine, and retire as an E9, so much. Information.
One below.
You retired as an EA.
Yeah.
I apologize. So that alone it's amazing in itself. And then you got your master's degree while you're in the military. So you're a single mom. You're going through, the processes of being deployed, and all of the challenges through working all the time. And then you got your master's degree. What did you get your master's degree in?
It's in business management and organizational leadership.
Wow. Yeah. Nice. Very good. So you decided to do that because you knew you were going to be doing something on the outside once you get out of the military. But one of the comments that you made I really loved is that, the entrepreneur mindset, always thinking about what's next. What are you going to do next? What's your next goals? How do you go to the next level? So talk to us a little bit about that, because that really leads, speaks to a lot about what we're talking about. But I love how people think that, people in the military are sort of on a treadmill kind of thing. But in fact, you're the absolute opposite. You were the person that kept striving for more and more and more, particularly in the mindset of entrepreneurship. So talk to us a little bit about that. How did you get this entrepreneur mindset, and what, as you're building, how do you keep changing and growing and building that mindset?
I'll tell you one thing. I grew up in New York, and I grew up in the urban areas of New York. So, city life, you have the drug dealers, the guns shooting all over the place. That's what I grew up in, row houses. And I always knew that I never wanted to be back in that place. I always knew that. And I always knew that I've always wanted to help people. Everything from day one, I wanted to help people. And I always want to help people become better. A lot of times people just don't realize the gems that they actually have in, because all of the stuff that's been placed around them, from what it was, maybe what was told to them by their parents, or what was told to them by a spouse, or maybe a teacher demeaning them, or whatever it is. A lot of people actually lost touch with who they actually were, and created this person of protection, learning how to cope. So I knew that if I was able to go out and talk to people and really help share my story and show how you can go almost from rags to riches, that I can change so many people's lives. And it's not just changing that one person, but changing the family life, changing the workspace life, changing society's life, changing community's life. So I always knew that. But and while I was in the military, I said, something, this military life is going to end. It's going to end. Yes, I was on a treadmill while I was there, just doing what I was supposed to do. Right. However, I knew I had to plan for the future.
Nice.
And I've always been business minded. Before I joined the military, I did 1 year of college. and it was in business. So I've always been in business.
Mm-hmm.
And what I decided to do was I said, okay, I'm not working for anybody else. That's the key. I'm not working for anybody else. 25 years of being under somebody's reign, and not just anybody's, but the Marine Corps' reign.
Yeah.
Granted, I loved every minute of it, but it also taught me a lot. And it taught me how to build my own businesses, how to be on top, how to be a leader, how to build leaders.
Yeah.
So I decided that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go out and I'm going to build leaders in the rest of the world. And, the focus was really, let me just learn some other things about business,
Mm-hmm.
and learn how to incorporate that into other people's lives. So that's basically where the entrepreneurial mindset came from, was after 25 years of the Marine Corps, 3 deployments, 2 to Iraq and 1 to Afghanistan. I'm not working for nobody else.
Yeah. God bless you. Thank you for doing those things, because so many people in the American culture don't really understand what that takes. So, being a single parent, but being in the Marine Corps and, any branch of the military, and then being gone and being told what to do all the time. So God bless you. And thank you for that, because those are very dangerous areas and very trying things that you went through. But those things developed you from that young person that grew up in New York City on the streets in the urban area with the gunfire flying, which, gosh, that was a visual that you just gave us. That was wow. But, it's real. It's real. And that's what made you want to be next. So when you decided to go to school, business was always the plan, or how did you get in that?
Always the plan. Always the plan. From day one, I knew I was going to be in charge. I knew I was going to lead an organization. I knew I was going to be the boss. And that was key. And as far as being an entrepreneur, I used to always read entrepreneur magazines. I used to always read business magazines, even at a young age in my 20s. I used to always read those magazines, learning how to actually be business minded.
Yeah.
And be an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurship isn't easy. It's not easy. If anybody tell you that it's easy, they must have been given millions and millions of dollars to become an entrepreneur. But it's not easy, and you had to build a lot of resilience in yourself to be able to move forward, because as an entrepreneur, your initial plan may not take roots at all. And you may have to adjust that plan. You may have to prune some things off. You may have to, grow it in a different direction before it actually takes root. Mm-hmm. And that's actually the key to it. It's I love the process, and I love helping other people learn how to build their own, because we all have skills. We all have techniques. We all have gifts and talents in us. And those gifts and talents aren't always used to work for somebody else. You have to really sit back and look at it and say, okay, who's going to benefit more? Will an organization benefit from this? Or will I be able to, create my own, and maybe a small team will benefit from it? And our key should always be to make the biggest impact in the world that we can make. And that's the key for me.
Nice. I love that. Not only that you talked about, making that impact, that's huge, because, and my talents might not necessarily work for you. And I talk about that a lot in my series that I do talk about through my process in helping people find their words and get their information out. But just because, each of us are given a whole set of talents, and whatever we have, it's very selfish not to share those talents. So I appreciate you saying that. Would you talk to us a little bit? I mean, you brought this up and you talked about entrepreneurship not being easy. Give us some examples of some struggles you might have had, because one of the things that I love to do about this series that we're talking right now, and that we do in this series, is I like to share things that all of these entrepreneurs have gone through, and they're all different, because somebody out there is listening to us and says, oh gosh, I'm having that problem, but I didn't know that this is how you fixed it, or this is what you do about it. So share with us maybe 1 or 2 of your big struggles and how you got through those, because that's so valuable to everybody else out there listening to us.
Well, one of the biggest struggles was really trying to get my name out, trying to let people know what it is that I actually do and how I can help them. That was one of the biggest struggles. We do have social media now that kind of help hone in some of those things, but there's still some type of skill or something that you need. You can't just get on there and create one of the ads that Facebook say to create, and you'll reach thousands and millions of people, and by the next couple of days you'll have millions of clients. Right. It doesn't work like that. It costs money. It costs money, and sometimes you have to go through trying to get credit, and if your credit's not good, then guess what you have to do? You have to sit back and maybe build credit, or you have to go and find some private investors or whatever it is to help you out. The biggest key for me was getting people to see and know what it was that I did. I started actually connecting with the city of Jacksonville. I live in Jacksonville, Florida right now. And I was blessed to be able to go out, and I actually met a former senator who was able to help me a lot as well. I went to just different meetings or whatever it was. But to meet him, I actually met this other lady who owned the Florida Star. I didn't know at the time. We were sitting in Mercedes getting our vehicles, maintenance, and started talking and found out that she owned the Florida Star. So I started writing the newspaper. Okay. One of the oldest newspapers in Florida, in Northern Florida.
All right.
And so she owns the Florida Star.
Okay.
So I started writing columns for her.
Nice.
And connect it, that way. Or I would go out and do different journalism for journalistic, I'll say, interviews for her paper. So I connected with her. That's how I was introduced to the former senator, who also introduced me to other prominent people here in Florida. Nice. I joined different organizations, working with the Jacksonville Chamber of Commerce. It's different. You have to get out and get yourself seen. You're not going to be able to meet people behind the desk. I understand right now we're dealing with Zoom. That can be the extended process and the ongoing process, but you have to get out and you have to meet people face to face, and you have to let them know not what it is that you do, but how you can help them.
Yeah, of course.
People don't care what you do. People want to know what's in it for me. That radio station, WIIFM, what's in it for me. So you have to get yourself out there and let people know what it is that you do. From there, I actually connected with other people because I did life coaching. Well, I still do life coaching as well. So with the life coaching, what I did was I went through different coaching programs, and that also helped me create and build my network, going through different coaching programs. And once you do that, you start meeting amazing people all over the place. You're sharing what you do, and everybody's like, okay, well, I can use you. I can work with you. We can work together. We can collaborate. And from there, I actually went to South Africa and did a conference, a women's conference. It was a women's empowerment conference that I spoke at in Johannesburg, South Africa, back in 2019.
Very cool.
Amazing, which, of course, it gave me my international hat for speaking. Right. And then from there, I also met a gentleman who lived in Cape Town who speaks a lot in Zimbabwe. So he and I just spoke yesterday to come up with a collaboration for me to do the coaching for all of the people within his conferences in Zimbabwe.
Very nice.
So being an entrepreneur, you have to be able to get out and connect to people and continue to let people know what it is that you can do for them, how you can help their organization. Everything is about the bottom line. How can they grow their business? How much money can they make? So you have to let them know what it is you can do for them. Trust me, it's not going to be easy. And some people may even be scared to talk to folks, but that comes with confidence. That's where confidence come in. When you're confident about what you do, when you're confident about how you can help people, when you have the data to show this is who I've helped and this is what they've been able to do within their business, organization, family, whatever it is, that's going to take you a long way, having confidence.
Yeah, yeah, I love it. I love it. Candace, as you've gone through your entrepreneurial process and between schooling and your military and, these amazing speaking events that you've been able to help so many people internationally and within the United States, phenomenal. Give us your go-to piece of advice. What's the one thing when Candace gets stuck in a rut, you get stuck in a line and you can't figure out what to do next? What's your go-to piece of advice to remind you to correct?
For that, the good thing is it's good to be uncomfortable. Okay. The first thing is it's awesome to be uncomfortable. You want to be uncomfortable. If you're comfortable with whatever you're doing, then you're not doing it right. You're not making the best out of what you can do. Because when you're uncomfortable doing something, that means you're pushing yourself past your barriers. You're pushing yourself past your stuck points, and that's what we need as entrepreneurs. There's so many things, so many different avenues that we don't know as an entrepreneur because we're filling so many hats, And that's why it's so important to make sure you have a good network around you so that you can connect to people. I always say that relational capital is more important than financial capital or monetary capital. Relational capital is more important than monetary capital because you can tap into anyone. And if you have, say, 5 people in your circle, those 5 people may have 5 people each. Those 5 people, now you got 25, and then, you just keep going. So now everybody is able to connect to you. Somebody knows somebody who's going to be able to help you with what you need, but you have to make your request known.
Love it. I love it. Candace, do you tell us about how people can find you after today?
Absolutely. I am on Facebook. I am on Instagram. My name is I am Carmen Davenport. I am Carmen Davenport. Okay. You can also go to Invincible You Coaching. That's my website, www.invincibleyoucoaching. Sorry, I know that's a lot. So
no, it's fine. I'm just listening and typing. That doesn't work. So I can add it into the comments so people can find that information there. Carmen, do you have any activities, something going on in your website, something going on in your world that you want to share with everybody right now before we finish up?
Well, actually, right now I am in the process of doing a collaboration with a friend of mine in Zimbabwe. So that's what's happening next. Within the next 2 to 3 months, we'll be doing some conferences as well as coaching. So I do group coaching, I do individual coaching, one-on-one coaching, and that's what's happening next. Only because of COVID.
Yeah.
So I will be releasing a webinar most likely around February to March timeframe. So, contact me and I'll be able to connect folks to the webinar. And the webinar is really, again, teaching people how to be resilient during these times. A lot of people have lost jobs. A lot of people are struggling, but we can't let this hurt us. We had to be able to come back in full force when society opens back up. And you're ready to either go your entrepreneurial route or get back into, the corporate world. But you have to be resilient. Yeah.
I love it. I included your website in the comments, so that way anybody who wants to follow you and make sure that they get included or that they can sign up for any events and activities you have coming up, they'll be able to find that there. Guys, we are streaming live on Facebook and YouTube right now. We'll also be adding this onto the link to this broadcast back to our LinkedIn page, my LinkedIn page. Candace will be able to share it on any of her channels in YouTube and on LinkedIn and on Facebook as well. And so definitely get out there and share it with everybody because this lady right here is one, obviously the ultimate connector. She knows who to connect you with. She is the powerhouse that is the motivational speaker and a very interesting book she has there on the back of her shelf. Again, tell me the name of your book so we can look that up too.
It's The Warrior Stance, and you can find it actually on Amazon right now. And I'm working with a couple of schools like Jacksonville University to get it into their bookstore. Their bookstore is under Barnes & Noble. So Excellent. I'll be working with them to get it into the school. It's an awesome book to even work with your family right now. Do the book, do it individually, do it as a family, and really, build yourself up and create the resilience and the confidence and the strength that you really need to move forward. So if you want to progress in life, you have to be confident in what it is that you're doing and what it is that you're offering others.
Excellent. I love it. Candace, I can't thank you enough for being with us today. It has been my honor to talk to you, to learn from you, to share your information. I truly appreciate your time today.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Guys, as I said, we are live on YouTube and on Facebook. We will have replays both of those places. I'll also be placing this on LinkedIn so Candace can share it as well. It'll be on my website, ConnieFuchsa.com. I'm sure Candace will be sharing it as well in some of her channels. And if you want more information on how to be a speaker or interviewee with us, you want to reach out to Candace, you need some help getting some connection, let me help you with that. I certainly would be willing and would love to be able to do that. Again, Candace, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you.
Thank you. You take care. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.